child.
At the beginning of 2024, Malaysia is experiencing a gradual economic recovery from the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Domestic demand is picking up as businesses reopen. However, global commodity prices are increasing due to various geopolitical tensions. Therefore, the government has implemented expansionary fiscal policies to stimulate economic growth. Let's move on onto a video on YouTube by a group college professional Mara students about inflation.
Hi! My name is Tiffany Anak Johnson Lapa and my ID number is MDB2307041.
My name is Wan Siti Balkis binti Mama Lufi and my ID number is MDB2307088.
My name is Afiq Fidaus bin Syakumar Shazha and my ID number is MDB2307075.
Last but not least, my name is Muhammad bin Abdul Rahim. My ID number is MDB23071110.
Today we are going to present about
Inflation! The factors expected to contribute in increasing the inflation rate is
Rising global commodity prices.
increases in the prices of commodities such as oil and food could lead to higher production costs for businesses. This may then passes through customers to higher prices of goods and services.
Increased domestic demand.
As the economy recovers from the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, consumers may have a more disposable income leading to a higher level of consumption. Oh, this increased demand could put upward pressure on prices.
Honey, this is so expensive.
Oh no! No money, baby.
Expansionary fiscal policy.
Government stimulus measures such as increased spending or tax cuts aimed at boosting the economic growth could also contribute to the inflationary pressure by increasing the level of demand in the economy. Supply chain disruptions. Disruptions of global supply chain caused by factors such as transportation bottlenecks or shortages of raw materials could also lead to shortages of certain goods and services, driving up their prices.
2, 4, 6, 7? Balkis, we don't have enough stock for production.
Oh no! How?
Oh no!
And last but not least, natural disasters. Events such as floods, droughts, and other natural disasters can easily disrupt supply chain and agriculture production, leading to temporary shortages and price spikes. These factors, along with others, could collectively contribute to a higher rate of inflation in Malaysia in 2024. Tiffany, do you know what is inflation?
Oh, I know what it is. Inflation is a persistent general increase in the price level over goods and services in an economy over a period of time. If inflation rate is high, money value will be lower and vice versa.
Oh.
Yeah, do you know what it is now?
Yes.
That's great. There are a few types of inflation that I'll be explaining about based on the article. The first one is
Cost push inflation.
this type of inflation occurs when the production costs increase and decrease the aggregate supply, resulting in higher prices. In that article, it suggests that the rollout of a few targeted subsidy programs, which may lead to a managed fuel prices for around 95, that could lead to inflation. This is because higher fuel prices can increase the production cost, leading to an increased prices of goods and services. The new slipper is out. Babe, let's go get it.
Sorry, babe, my car has no petrol. Petrol is so expensive nowadays.
Boo-hoo. One of the factors causing cost push inflation includes wage push inflation.
Boss, increase my wage or I quit.
Based on the graph, short-run aggregate supply curve shifts to the left, causing a higher price level and lower GDP. The second one will be demand pull inflation. Based on the graph, demand pull inflation happens when the overall demand for goods and services exceeds the available supply, leading to increased pressure on prices. Despite the moderation of food inflation to a 2-year-old low, there are still expectations regarding food inflation rate of 4.5% in 2024. This means that the demand for food products remains strong and contribute to the overall demand of the economy. For example, eggs and raw chicken. Quack, quack, quack.
Oh, wow. I have to tell boss. Hello, boss. I was just updating you on the demand for the leaves. It's still going strong.
Hello, Balkis. That's good. Keep up the pace and gain profit so that we'll be able to contribute to the economy. And for the last one, we have structural inflation. The article states that various factors contribute to inflation, including government policies such as fuel targeted subsidy programs. The structural changes in the economy, such as supply chains, influences inflationary pressure over a longer time. Alright, these types of inflation interact with each other and often present each other simultaneously of an economy and eventually contributing to the inflation rate.
Well, there are a few policy measures that could be effective in controlling rising inflation. The policy that can be used is monetary policy by increase the interest rate. Bank Negara Malaysia may increase the overnight policy rates, which is OPR. When Bank Negara increases the OPR, it also increases the bank's interest rate. This makes it more expensive for banks to borrow money from national banks. According to the statistics, we can see that BNM increased the OPR by 25 basis points to 3% in May 2023 to control inflation. Next is fiscal policy, which is targeted subsidies. As discussed in the article, implementing a targeted subsidy program for essential goods like fuel can help ease the burden of low-income households and those heavily reliant on fuel for transportation. This statistic shows that subsidies is more on the fuel. This reduces the burden on their budgets and helps maintain their purchasing power for other necessities.
Hi, boss!
Oh, hey guys. As you guys know, RON 95 is now retailing at RM 2.05 per liter, while diesel at RM 2.15 per liter.
Oh, alright! Noted with thanks!
For consumers, lower gas prices mean lower costs on transportation and services. This benefits everyone in the economy by helping to reduce inflation overall. This approach is more efficient than blanket subsidies. Last one is also fiscal policy, which is reduce government spending. This reduces the overall amount of money chasing after goods and services. This can lead to lower price as business face less demand. Government cuts also mean lower wages for public sector workers. This causes families to have less income, meaning they have less money to spend on goods and services, slowing down demand in the economy and control inflation.
Rising inflation in Malaysia can have significant consequences on the affordability of essential goods and services. Here are some key impacts.
Increase cost on living.
Higher inflation typically leads to increased prices for basic food items and groceries, making it harder for households to afford daily necessities. For example, housing. Rent and property prices may rise, putting additional financial strain on families, especially those with lower incomes.
That is so expensive, Dad!
Don't worry, my child. You can still afford the rent.
Impact on healthcare.
Healthcare costs, including medicines and medical services, can become more expensive, potentially leading to reduced access to necessary treatments and preventive care. For the third one, education expenses. The cost of education, including school fees, textbooks, and other supplies, may rise, making it harder for families to afford quality education for their children.
Oh my god! 100,000 per child!
Daddy, are you okay? Interest and debts. Central banks may raise interest rates to combat high inflation, which increases the cost of borrowing for consumers and businesses. For those with fixed rate debt, inflation can reduce the real value of debt over time. However, rising interest rates can increase the cost of new borrowing. And lastly, savings and investment. Inflation diminishes the value of savings, as the amount saved will buy less in the future compared to today. If investment returns do not keep pace with inflation, the real value of investment portfolios can decline, affecting future financial security. Governments in Malaysia may implement measures such as subsidies, price controls, or monetary policy adjustment to manage inflation, which can have varied effects on the economy. Overall, rising inflation can have widespread and often adverse effects on the affordability of goods and services, impacting individuals, businesses, and the broader economy.
That's all for our video on inflation.
So Ramdan, this is for you.
Thank you. Bye.